I'm going to share a real estate strategy decision guide, essentially how to choose the best do-it-yourself real estate investment training. These are the details you must know to avoid wasting so much time and money, and it's going to help you choose the right path for you. I'm Corey Taylor with Fidelis, and I've been investing for 25 years, 20 of those full-time since I got out of the Marine Corps back in 2005. I've done nights and weekends investing as best I could since 99. I've done all the models for decades, hundreds of times, so I feel qualified to let you know what is best and not best and how to make this decision, because I've done all the no money down creative deals, and I've done tax sales and tax deeds for a decade, other things like bank REOs. I've done all there is to do. I learn every day because I'm doing this every day. So I'm in the business every day with my team. We full-time acquisition in real estate. We want the most money in the least amount of time, just like you do. We want the least amount of risk, just like you do. Why would we go slower than we need to or take more risk than we need to, right? We want the most real estate and the most profit in the least amount of time and hassle, just like you. So that's what I feel like qualifies me to give you a really good decision guide and how to choose the best do-it-yourself training, because people need it. Frankly, we need the clarity, and I need to help reduce the confusion out there of just so many options. They all seem the same. I'm going to give you the distinctions today on why they're not the same, how to make a good decision on which one's best for you, and I'll provide a good option of our favorite one at the end so you can see what we do for the most money in least amount of time, reliably and consistently. Happy to share that with you at the end, but let me give you at least the same decision-making process we go through when we're deciding what is the best real estate model for us and what is the best real estate model for the market we're in. But typically your decision comes based on your money and time and skill and aptitude available. And we're going to talk about all those details. Let's jump right in. No one likes ending up without results saying it didn't work for me. That is not a good result. This is going to tell you how to decide if a training program is a fit for you and is going to meet your expectations. That's what we all want. You need to gain clarity and confidence in the program you choose if it's going to meet your financial hopes and dreams. We don't just want to wander in there by the seat of our pants. So let me give you a very clear guide to do that, because honestly, do you have time to waste getting it wrong? None of us want to go down a path and end up part way and we're stuck and come all the way back again. How much time does that take? You go down, oh, it's a dead end. We were already running late. We already are wanting to get where we want to go so urgently, and yet we just go down a road and we're like, shoot, this doesn't work. And now you've wasted all that time to come back. Well, you don't want to do that in real estate investing either. You're wanting to get that financial freedom or that flip check or whatever it is because you got hopes and dreams and you got things you want to go do. And you're only going to delay those if you just rush off without knowing what I'm going to share in this quick training for you. Here's number one. Do the activities in the program require more time or money than you have to give to get to the profit destination? Now, let me be clear about this. The profit destination isn't necessarily for you right now, depending on where you are. It's not necessarily the paycheck at the end of a sold or rented house. For most people, especially those starting out in real estate, the profit destination is getting a contract at enough discount that you can wholesale it, which I'm personally not a fan of, but you can wholesale it or get a partner to do the deal with you. You can get adequate funding. If you flip it, you're going to make profit. So the contract at a discount, a sufficient discount, is your initial profit destination. That's destination number one. The next destination is you're collecting the money. And you can get help to do that. You don't need funding to buy houses in lots of many different ways. Okay, you can use other people's money. We'll talk about that later. But let's be clear, the profit destination is contract first. That's the hard part. Funding and fixing houses is not the hard part because partners solve that for you and with you. So, do the activities I'm being asked to do in the program cost more time and money than I have to give? You clearly want the highest odds and reliability of getting paid on these activities, on your time and effort, right? I hope I'm preaching to the choir and you're just nodding your head like, Corey, this is obvious. these are obvious questions. People don't go find the answers. That's why we're covering this. It's very, very important. There's a lot of confusion and rushing into things going on out there, and we need to stop that right away. Number 3, you need to choose the one with the least amount of financial time and risk or overhead to reach that profit destination. And I will caveat this by saying, yes, you want the least of financial time and risk overhead, but you need to maintain at least the same reliability or odds, number 2, the odds of getting paid in that model, right? I'm going to use, a car picture or analogy in a second. And if it takes the least amount of gas, that's fine, but you need to make sure the wheels aren't going to fall off either, right? So yes, you want the least amount of financial time and risk overhead to reach profit. You still want to maintain the highest odds and reliability of getting paid. So here's the trouble. A lot of the real estate commercials out there, and just understand what they are. The videos of saying, you should buy my training is a commercial. And they're going to give you the best case all the time. And they're going to leave out some things that are important to make the decision of whether that's a fit for you. That's just what commercials do, okay? So most trainers in real estate are trying to sell possible. Here is what is possible. Here's how you do something, and it's possible for you to achieve a result. Here is the Kansas City Chiefs playbook, and if you go on the field, it's possible for you to run plays well enough and score a touchdown. Now, if you've never run those plays before, how possible is it really to score a touchdown on an NFL team? But not very likely, right? It's possible you could go buy one lottery ticket and win the lottery. Well, how possible is that? See, possible can be anything. You have to be very careful about what is possible. Please don't plan your life or make a real estate program decision or strategy decision on any training course based on possible. You have to know is what is most likely, because anything is possible. You can't plan your life on possible. Please don't do that. We need probable. What is probably going to happen? Based on your resources and your time and your skill level and your education level and your experience level, based on who you are, right now, listening to this, you have resources in the form of money, time, skill, and aptitude. Now, those can all change and get better. I mean, time not always, because if you got a full-time job, you only got so much time, right? But you can carve out some time if you really want to. But you're in a different place than Mary, Bob, or Joe. So you need at least, you're probably going to win based on your resources, especially money and time, but skill and aptitude matter. But we want to really get inevitable, right? Like what program is going to be inevitably successful for you? It fits perfectly with your money and your time and your skill and your aptitude. Aptitude meaning for learning new skills. Right now you have a certain amount of skills, but what is your aptitude to learn more skills? Some people have a high aptitude for learning skills right away. Some have a lower aptitude for learning skills slower. You can still learn them. It's just going to take you a little longer. That's okay. That's how God made you. That's fine. You can overcome that. It's just going to take a little longer. But let's please hone your lens of deciding what is this program I'm looking at, whatever program that may be, is it going to fit where I am? Otherwise, you are setting yourself up for failure. So let's keep talking about how we can discern together. There's all these options out there. What in the world? Like, how do I decide what this is? Yes, Corey, I agree with this, but what can we do about it? Okay, calling realtors, for example. Buying training or mentoring on a certain strategy is like buying a car or vehicle to go get money, to get to the profit destination, which is what I say was first, a contract at the right price. A contract at the right price. These trainings they cost money, right? It has a price. There is a price to buy the car. There is a price to buy the training. $47, $97, $497, $997, $49.97, $5,000, $9,900, whatever it is, there's a price. The second component that almost everybody ignores, this is why I was so compelled to do this video. In addition to buying the car, you have gas and maintenance, really, gas and maintenance, right? But let's just focus on the gas. The gas is the time and money to operate the vehicle on the way to the profit destination of getting the contract at a discount. That's our destination, right? It's like miles per gallon. People are not walking outside the car. They're so enamored with the leather seats and sunroofs and top speed and handling and all those things. They're not focused on miles per gallon. Depending on where you are financially, the miles per gallon is the most important thing. Do I have enough gas to put in that car to get me all the way? Well, calling realtors takes a lot of time and money, more time and money than ever in our lifetime. Calling realtors because they've already got their list of investors, big list, and you've got to outcompete all those investors already on their list to shop for properties. If they're not a very good realtor, they're going to send you lots of junk and just waste your time anyway. A lot of time and money in that model. Subject to. I love subject to. Done lots of subject twos. Who doesn't want to take over a cheap mortgage long term? Of course. But having had hundreds and hundreds of conversations with people about subject to, I've sat in front of them, homeowners, right? And I've had this conversation. It's like talking about a purple monkey. Oh, I'm going to take over your debt, but I'm not going to pay it off, but it's going to be in your name still. And you're going to hope that I pay it. And, well, what about 5 years from now? What if you don't pay it? Well, I'll give you the house back. Like, there's a lot of time and money. But here's the thing. Just getting somebody on the phone with you to talk about subject to it has never been more money in marketing and calls, like thousands of dollars a month in marketing, thousands of calls per month to get somebody on the phone to even discuss subject to. Very, very high amount of fuel. Same thing with owner finance. You're going to find these next few vehicles are all kind of in the same bucket. Owner financing. To get somebody on the phone is very difficult. Imagine you're in a pond with more fishermen than ever in the pond for the number of fish. Like the ratio's way off. Never been more fishermen per fish, ever. Well, imagine everybody else calling people about owner finance or getting them on the phone to discuss owner finance. If you're not following up 32 times, you're not getting that deal. Okay, you're not just going to roll out of bed and make a few calls and make this happen. So owner finance, lots and lots of time and money. AI bots. Are they getting better over time? Sure. Someday, I have no doubt, quantum computing and AI at some point can determine some things. But right now, this is early phase. This is not going to dump money in your lap. I can tell you from experience, it's not going to dump money in your lap. It's going to be money and time. And you still have to get somebody on the phone. And you still have to talk about the specific, contract offer. And you've got to be skilled at that. And it still takes money to have that conversation because there's still going to be 19 other people or 40 having a similar conversation as you. A lot of skill required to have these conversations and sound confident, which means lots of reps, which means lots of marketing and calls. Lease option. Sometimes they call this slow flip. There's different names for things, guys, but it's the same models for 30, 40 years to creatively buy real estate. And these are a lot of the creative financing, right? Now, people claim these are no money down. It's true. The contract on most of these is you're not getting a loan to buy the house. Hence, no money. But you know where the money is spent? In the miles per gallon to get the vehicle to the contract. Remember, I said you're not worried about after contract. If it's a cash deal, no money down deal, you got partners for that anyway. Don't worry about the money to buy it and expertise to fix it. That's partnerable. You've got to worry about how do I get my car over here to the finish line, which is a contract at the right price. Getting a contract is what the model should be helping you solve. And all of these models, guess what they have in common? All of these models are chasing individual homeowners. Bob, Nancy, John, Gerald, Alan. Chasing homeowners are where all this fits. Never been more gas in the form of money and time than in your lifetime. Be very, very wary of these, guys. Chasing homeowners is lots and lots of money. So you have to understand the miles per gallon to get the contract. Then you can solve what it means to buy or wholesale or whatever. Again, I don't recommend wholesaling. I've always been against it. It's the most time and the least money. I know it sounds the easiest. Oh, I can just get a piece of paper for $200 and call Corey and sell it for $210 and make $10,000 next week and do it twice a month and my life is all over. It's amazing. Right now, Presuming on this right side of the screen is that contract that you can wholesale, 95% of people do not have the money, the time, the skill, or aptitude, especially when they start out, to get the car to the contract so they can then wholesale it. You see, the problem is getting to the contract. That front end that many commercials make sound super easy, just make some calls, just get on the phone, are not saying it's just drive 50 miles or just drive 500 miles. It's all you got to do. Just get in the car and start driving. It's in their best interest not to tell you how much gas it takes to get there, or you might not get in. But can we agree at this point in time? Can we agree together? You would not get in a car that you only need to get to a destination. You need to get in a car, not because you just want to drive around and for the fun of it. You're getting in a car because you want it to get you somewhere as fast and reliably and inexpensively as possible. Let me say that again. You would want a car, a real estate model, not in and of itself, just to drive around, waste time. You want to get to a destination, and you want to get to the destination as reliably and quickly and inexpensively, i.e. less overhead, as you can. Please look at this like that. All of these vehicles and more, I could list more. I could have listed 3 or 4 more because there's several models that keep chasing homeowners. But if you're chasing a homeowner to say yes to something, any of these, not only is the training very expensive, but making the calls, buying the software, the CRMs and all that is very difficult and expensive. A lot of tech, a lot of complexity, because you have to become a marketing professional and a sales professional before you're actually becoming an investor. Does that fit what you want to do? Do you want to be on the phone 20, 30 hours a week, grinding homeowner calls? Is that in your personality? Because personality is a layer I'm bringing in here now. Your personality. Do you want to be cold calling homeowners and having what sometimes is a very awkward, sometimes tense conversation? Are you okay with that? Getting called names? Are you okay with that? So the calling and the nature of this, I said time and money as if you could just would do anything, but some of you don't want and can't get good at these conversations where you can just let it roll off. Like, it's very difficult. And for most people, it's terrifying. So it's like driving this car and it takes a lot of time and money and you're driving on the edge of the cliff, afraid you're going to fall off any moment, right? Kind of an idea. So please see real estate models as, okay, what's the car? How much is the car costing me? What are the features of the car? That's fine. But do I have enough time, money, skills, and aptitude to get that car to a contract? And you're going to hear the salesman saying whatever he wants to say, but you've got to do an honest self-assessment. And that's what I'm trying to help you do now is do the self-assessment. Do you have enough fuel to drive that real estate strategy all the way to the profit destination? That is your magic question in making a good decision for you. 95% of people who rush into that decision, presuming best case because it sounds amazing, and guess what? The hope that it's going to work as easy as they say is like dopamine. Oh my gosh, this looks amazing, and Mary just did it. I'm going to go in, not really asking the right questions because it feels good, but it feels good until you're here. Driving down the road in a model, hair blowing in the wind, feet on the dashboard, like if you're a passenger, just driving down, top down, convertible. That's awesome. Right up until that gas gauge is empty and you're on the side of the road trying to do this. And you're like, whoa, wait a second. I barely went anywhere. I thought I was supposed to get there. Oh no, you got 500 miles to go. What? I could have sworn I had enough gas. I know it sounded like that, but you really don't. And now you're doing this. This is where most people end up. That euphoria is gone. Those hopes and dreams seem dashed because the financial resource and time you did have is spent and you did not make it to the destination, and now you're doing this. Or you're calling somebody for help to come get you. Or you're trying to push your car off the 4-lane highway and everybody's honking at you, kind of thing. It's because they do not do it. The average person does not go into this efficiently. That's why I keep telling you, it's thousands of dollars in marketing, thousands of calls with phone dialers and CRM systems and Pat Live and Live Answer and all those things, email follow-up systems. It's all of that if you're going to chase homeowners. Understand the miles per gallon. Again, you wouldn't do this in a regular car, but people do this all the time in real estate models. Please don't do that. Do you have enough time and money to overcome the competition, which has never been higher? You've never had more fishermen per fish in that pond, the homeowner pond, than ever. Okay? And honestly, can you afford to be wrong? Can you afford to end up here with what you have? Maybe even derailing the one chance you have to be successful? You need to ask yourself that question, okay? Now, there is an RE model, thankfully, that is available to you, and it's buying bank owned. What I love about this, right off the bat, you have presuppositions in your mind about what bank REO means, which I love because they're probably wrong. This is the least amount of fuel for several reasons, okay? Now, we call this the REO Playbook. And we made it because guess what you need? The vehicle with the highest reliability of making it to the profit destination, which is a contract, with the least amount of overhead, almost none, to get there. Because it's the least competitive place to be, because so many people misunderstand what it takes to buy these. They self-select themselves and walk away. So this pond has the least fishermen per fish, but there's some scary signs on the gate to the pond, and they see the signs, and rather than find out if those signs are accurate, they just walk away and go back and try other things. But this is where you need to be. Please trust my 25 years doing every model over and over and over and over again. We do this because it's the most reliable to get paid, the least amount of work, and almost no overhead. Why would you not get in that car? Oh, this is the most likely to get me where I want to go, and it's the cheapest way to get there. Of course. And it's honestly the quickest, because the other cars that seem quick, like, oh, these are super fast. This car's top end 180. Yeah, but you're going to go a quarter mile and be out of gas. So who cares how fast it goes? You're not going to make it, right? This car will be a little slower as a top speed, but the reliability of getting there, and you know you're not going to run out of gas. Imagine electric, right? Oh, you're in an electric. You're not even putting gas in. Are you going to go the same top speed? Probably not, but you're going to get there. How does the inevitability feel to know you're going to get there, as opposed to, man, this thing's going pretty fast, but I'm not sure we're going to make it? That's an uncertain feeling. The certainty and the inevitability of knowing you're going to get where you want to go if you just keep your foot on the pedal, that's awesome. And that's what I want you to experience, because that's what we experience. And so does everybody who's done this before. It is more reliable to reach the RE profit destination, which is a contract at the right price. It is the only training in the marketplace that I'm aware of as of this recording on how to spend less money on the way to get a profit destination. Not here's the 9 different software systems you need to start out the gate and start dumping gas in immediately before you've made $1. That's what most training is, right? Oh, congratulations on the car. Now you need this and this, and you need all these upgrades, you need all this software, and you're loaded up with expenses before you've made any money. Some say go get credit, go into debt to get the software system, to go borrow gas and put it in the car and hope you get there. That really burns me, because the people who don't assess, the trainers, those salesmen who do not assess where you are now, where they don't know you don't have enough gas, time, skill, or aptitude to get there, but they still sell you an expensive car, that you're just not going to get there. That's disappointing. When you're talking about a vehicle, the conversation needs to shift from how the vehicle works to, will this vehicle get me where I want to go? Do you see the transition in thinking I want you to have? Does the vehicle get me there? Will this get me there? Talk about the destination and what it takes to get there. What is my total cost to get to the profit contract, the profitable contract? What is my total cost? Cost of training and the cost of gas and maintenance. Total cost, right? Please stop focusing on just the cost of the car. What is the total cost to get me to contract for the average person, or even better, customized to you on your money, time, skills, and aptitude? I'm going to keep saying that over and over again. Total cost. What's my total cost to arrive? You can only afford to invest in arriving at the destination. You cannot afford to invest in a car that cannot get you there. And you can't borrow enough gas to get there. The only training how to spend less money. Least amount of time to reach the destination. So we said less money, less time. High reliability of getting you there. Why would you not want that? That's why we like it. And it lets you laser focus on investing decisions. Should I buy the house? What's the most I should pay? Should I buy the house? What's the most I should pay? That's what you need to be doing to invest, not marketing and sales. For most people, come back around later to marketing and sales if you want to, when you know how to buy houses. Then you can layer in marketing and sales because you're already a good investor. No bots, no CRMs, no live answer systems, no phone dialers, no social media posting, no mailings, no ads, no networking in a Facebook group, no MLS, none of that. You're going to web browse a few sites where banks sell their REOs. You're going to have flexible time per day and week, about 5 to 7 hours usually, versus 20 to 30. Okay, way less time in the gas required. Low tech, that means simple and clear. Most people can progress faster and do more when they're not figuring out 6 different software systems. So it's much easier to know where do you start and what do you do next. That's where most people fail. Corey, it's just so overwhelming, and I sit down, I don't even know where to start. You start by logging in. You start by shopping houses. You know where to start when you get to Amazon. You put a search in, you look at some results, oh, I want that one, and you press and you decide now that you just click and buy it. In this case, you're shopping and you're saying, hey, that house is worth my time, and I'm going to click it and go forward. And I'm going to go figure out what the most I should pay. But that's knowing where to start and what to do next. I can't emphasize that enough. Then you can gain skills of investing, not marketing and sales, which means getting paid faster. Okay. So I hope this was beneficial to you on understanding focus on any real estate model as total cost, car plus gas plus maintenance, to get me to a contract at a discount. Do not take the video's word for it, because of course it's a commercial. Of course in commercials the cars fly. And of course everything goes perfectly. And of course you're driving nonchalantly by the ocean view. That's not reality. We all know that on watching TV. Don't pretend it's not reality when you're watching a video commercial anywhere else, okay? Just one last time. Most people get so caught up in what the model can do. I told you, I love the no money down models. My first decade was all the models. I'm a very good transaction engineer. I love the cars. I love them. They're very clever. They just take way too much gas in the form of time and money, gas and maintenance, to get a contract these days that I'm just begging people, please make sure you have enough of that if you're going to go do it, because it takes way more than you think. And if you don't have very much and you just need to make every dollar count, I wanted to provide an alternative that we do ourselves. 25 years in the business, we do ourselves. Now you have a good option, should you consider it, to go forward and actually be getting success and learning without writing the checks every month, which you and your spouse don't like. You can get out of that entirely. Highest reliability of getting paid, lowest overhead on the way. So I hope you'll consider that. I hope it saves you time and consideration on any other model. I hope if you do choose a different model that you're prepared. There's also, I'll leave you with this. There's a verse that says the smart people plan everything they need to build the tower, and foolish people just start building when they don't have enough, and they end up not finishing and looking foolish because they didn't plan ahead. That's all I'm helping you do here, is to know what a lot of models really take so you can plan accordingly and plan your life for success, not just planning to get in the car, not knowing you're going to be on the side of the road a couple miles down the road, most likely. Most people are. So hope that informs you. That's always my goal, is to inform, because clarity gives confidence to take action. Actions produce results. Based on your results, you can take different actions, but it all starts with clarity of purpose so we can do something. And I just want to help you get out of some of the confusion out there. I would love to have a relationship with you in real estate if you desire, but I wish you the best either way, and I'll see you next time.